Welcome to September. You know, whenever I think about September, I always think about new beginnings. And it's kind of ironic because September is, in a lot of people's minds, the beginning of fall, which a lot of people feel is like the ending, like the beginning of the end of color and life. But the real truth is that fall is like a whole other burst of color, right? You know, when the chloroform stops spinning around in the plants, the colors that they give off are a whole new dimension of color on the color wheel that we really haven't experienced all through summer. Summer's all vibrant and bright and almost like hot colors, right? And then the fall is these warm, soothing, cool colors. And I really feel like it's, for me, my season. That's my season. I tend to open up and really enjoy the colors that come in that season along with the weather. As much as I love going to the beach, I'm not a big fan of the extreme weather of the 90s and the hundreds, and I much prefer tepid weather, you know, the ones that are in the middle of the road. And it got me thinking about the middle and how so many of us ask, you know, answer a question like if somebody passes by, how you doing? And we all sort of say, okay. I got into this conversation with a client of mine recently about okay. And what does that really actually mean when you say you're okay? And we started to talk about it. And so I want to ask you, when someone walks by and they ask you how you doing, do you just say, I'm okay? Is that actually what you want to be holding, like that energy of okay? Or do you want to take an opportunity for them inquiring about how you doing to actually say, thanks for asking. Thanks for asking, how am I doing? How are you doing? That, to me, is an opening for receiving, an opening for warmness and connection. Do you really want to shut the door down for the conversation, for the opportunity for connection? So think about that the next time somebody asks you, how you doing? And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, people ask me how I'm doing all the time. I don't want to be one of those people from like a comedy skit where somebody says, how you doing? And you start listing all the things that are going on in your life, and the other person's rolling their eyes, going, oh my God, she's actually telling me how she's doing. I want you to understand, people don't have to actually ask you how you doing. When they do, it's an extension of them being friendly to you. And sometimes just smiling and say, how are you doing? Thanks for asking. Or just thanks for asking. It's a good day is better than saying okay, because okay is like the bottom. And I want you to think to yourself, what are all the different levels past okay? If okay was the bottom of the barrel, how many levels up could you go? Right? You could go from okay to good to really good to terrific to amazing, spectacular, terrific, splendid, and there's a lot more adjectives that I'm not even sharing. When you're thinking about it one day, put okay on the bottom of a piece of paper and come up with all the adjectives that describes how you could be feeling without using the word okay. And use one of those words the next time somebody says, how you doing? Because it's a better compilation, a better example of really how you're feeling. And if you are in a place where you're not feeling so great, it's okay to say, I've had better days, but I'm hanging in there. And allow somebody to be there for you, to support you. Allow yourself to receive from someone else. So for September, let me pull a card about receiving. and see what it says. So we're asking about the energy of receiving. And I have got this card. And so to me, it's about allowing yourself to be in the center, receiving from all sides, knowing that you have support wherever you turn. If you can extend out a hand without judgment to yourself that you're weak, but rather than you're strong, for allowing yourself to receive from other people who care about you. And while I'm saying this, I want you to think about somebody who you are trying to connect to and how sad you feel when that person doesn't want to share with you. And ask yourself, is that the message you want to give off to other people when they're inquiring about how you are? Do you want to give them the message that they aren't good enough to share? Or do you want to give the message that you aren't good enough to receive? The truth is, we all have value and worth. And when we allow ourselves to receive from the people who care about us, it's an acknowledgement about who we are. Hold that energy during the month of September. And look out for my goddess circle on how do you create a better relationship with you. See you soon.